Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this. Liverpool transfer news as midfielder move agreed and Marc Guéhi decision made. Alexander Isak is the name on the lips of most people when it comes to Liverpool right now. But as news is awaited on what comes next for the Swede, other things are happening. Liverpool has a few players who could head out on loan before the end of the window, with decisions to be made on several young talents. And incomings might not just be focused on Isak, with Marc Guéhi still an option as well. Here is the Liverpool.com verdict on the transfer gossip to emerge around the Reds today. For once, we don't begin with the latest on Isak, with a couple of other stories taking the limelight instead. James McConnell, Ajax on loan, Liverpool midfielder. James McConnell has agreed a new 5-year contract at Anfield. He will soon head out on loan to the Dutch giant Ajax, with an agreement in place for a season-long loan. It is understood that several clubs in the Championship, including West Bromwich Albion, Ipswich Town, and Hull City, were also interested in the 20-year-old. The Austrian outfit Sturm Graz was also very keen. However, the player was attracted to the appeal of playing for a club of Ajax's size and stature. Playing in the Champions League was also a big appeal, and is a good stage for McConnell to show what he can do. Ajax finished second in the Eredivisie last season, with Arne Slot's former assistant coach John Heitinga at the helm. He and McConnell worked together on Merseyside, and will link up again. McConnell's medical will take place later this week, ahead of the switch being confirmed. He was involved at senior level for Liverpool 4 times last season, but his opportunities would have been limited again if he stayed. Marc Guéhi, Crystal Palace. With Ibrahima Konate having struggled at times at St. James Park earlier this week, links with Crystal Palace captain Marc Guéhi haven't gone anywhere. He is out of contract in 2026. YN reported earlier that Crystal Palace is interested in the Manchester City centre-back Manuel Akanji, though it remains to be seen how keen the player would be on moving to Selhurst Park. Bayer Leverkusen and Galatasaray are also thought to be considering Akanji. If he does go to Crystal Palace, that could free Guéhi up to leave South London. Crystal Palace CEO Steve Parish has already made clear that he doesn't want to lose Guéhi for nothing next summer. Having given away his bargaining position, though, Liverpool will not be paying over the odds. Manchester City has been linked with Guéhi in the last couple of days, but it is understood that he only wants to join Liverpool. The player might have to wait another year before making the switch, but has his heart set on a move to Anfield. Liverpool transfer news. Players make Alexander Isak demand as Arne Slot's focus turns elsewhere. The dust has not yet fully settled. After what is already sure to go down as one of the Premier League games of the season, and breakout star Rio Ngumoha has become an overnight sensation thanks to his last-gasp winner to break Newcastle's hearts. And while Arne Slot and Virgil van Dijk hailed the 16-year-old's impact, the club hierarchy have known about his potential, having broken their rules around paying young stars to keep him away from Chelsea. Meanwhile, there are no updates around the now tedious Alexander Isak saga, while focus must now surely be on whether the Reds try to sign Marc Guéhi from Crystal Palace amid doubts over their defensive performances in the opening 2 weekends of the season. Here are the transfer tales from in and around Anfield, with less than a week remaining before the summer window slams shut. Isak Solution Quick Newcastle captain Bruno Guimaraes says the players want Alexander Isak's transfer saga to be resolved as quickly as possible. With the striker still pushing for a move to Liverpool, Isak has not featured for Eddie Howe's side this season after refusing to join his teammates for pre-season and training alone for the whole summer. He has since released a statement complaining of broken promises from the Newcastle hierarchy, who hit back with their own message denying they had guaranteed he would be sold in this transfer window. Liverpool have already had a $110 million bid rejected for the Sweden international, with Newcastle understood to be valuing him at around 150 million. Speaking after Monday night's game, Guimaraes said he had not spoken to Isak about the situation, but urged the club to find a conclusion to the saga to allow the team to focus on the season ahead. Guéhi assistance. Manchester City defender Manuel Akanji has emerged as a target for Crystal Palace in a transfer which could help facilitate Marc Guéhi's departure to Liverpool. Palace are scouring the market for central defenders in case Liverpool meet their valuation for Guéhi before the summer transfer window closes on Monday. The Palace captain has entered the final year of his contract, and Chairman Steve Parish has admitted they would have little option to sell now in order to avoid losing him for free next summer. Oliver Glasner has made it clear they won't sanction Guéhi's departure before the second leg of their Conference League playoff against Fredrikstad on Thursday. But the deal could still be completed over the weekend if a compromise is found between Palace's $45 million valuation and Liverpool's of around 35 million Ngumoha exception. The Reds operate under a strict wage structure for academy graduates, but they made a rare exception in 2024 to lure Rio Ngumoha to Merseyside. Although the teenager is officially on a scholar's contract worth $200 per month, his deal is supplemented by a package of bonuses that can substantially increase his earnings. Such incentives are rarely offered at academy level, ESPN report, underlining both how highly Liverpool rate Ngumoha and the measures they were willing to take to ensure Chelsea wouldn't keep hold of him. Ngumoha, born in London, first joined Chelsea's youth setup in 2016 and was widely regarded as a future first-team player. Former club captain John Terry, who has worked in the academy in recent years, hailed him on social media as a top player after news of his move to Anfield broke. After Liverpool's pulsating first away match of the new season, all eyes are on Alexander Isak to see what happens next in the player's long-running transfer saga. It says much about just how high-profile Isak's situation has become that it dominated the post-match discussion on Monday as much as Rio Ngumoha's record-breaking goal did. Eddie Howe claimed he was unaware of reports that a meeting had taken place in the hours before, but watch this space in terms of updates. Meanwhile, Marc Guéhi remains a target despite speculation of Manchester City's interest in the Crystal Palace defender. Liverpool's start to the new season has underlined the need for reinforcements at centre-back. Elsewhere, departures are still expected before Monday's deadline, with Roma in talks over a move for Kostas Tsimikas. Harvey Elliott could also move on, while several youngsters are expected to depart on loan. Alexander Isak clock ticking. After meeting with the Newcastle owners, Alexander Isak still wants to leave and join Liverpool, the Daily Mail reports. That is hardly a surprise. Isak has been staunch in his position all summer and wasn't going to change it now. The problem is that Newcastle has been equally as committed to its not-for-sale stance. Locker room reaction. Liverpool head coach Arne Slot says someone in the away locker room at St. James's Park admitted that they would have taken a touch had the chance that Rio Ngumoha scored fallen to them. It was a great goal for a 16-year-old, Slot said on Sky Sports. Rio can finish so well for his age. I did hear someone say afterwards in the dressing room that he would have taken a first touch, but he is so confident. For his age, he is a really good finisher. Richard Keys wants rule change, Newcastle United 2-3. Liverpool was a game filled with drama, goals, and talking points, but former Sky Sports presenter Richard Keys believes fans are being robbed after a statistic emerged from the clash. So a match that ran to 100-plus minutes saw a ball-in-play time of just 40.8%, the lowest in a Premier League match for 15 years, Keys posted on social media. Fans are being robbed. We should play to a 60-minute ball-in-play clock. Thierry Henry on Rio Ngumoha. Thierry Henry says Liverpool will continue to be careful with the development of 16-year-old talent Rio Ngumoha, but the French legend has been impressed with what he has seen so far. He announced himself, but playing regularly, it is a bit early for him. Henry said during an appearance on Sky Sports. "I'm happy that Ngumoha was able to finish how he finished the goal. He looked like a player who has been playing for a very long time with how composed he was. As soon as he came onto the field, he had the desire, that will, that he wanted to change the game." James McConnell nears Ajax move. Liverpool midfielder James McConnell has agreed a new contract with the Anfield side and will head out on loan to the Dutch giant Ajax for the coming season. It is understood that several clubs in the Championship, including West Bromwich Albion, Ipswich Town, and Hull City, were also interested in the 20-year-old, in addition to the Austrian outfit Sturm Graz. However, the player was attracted to the appeal of playing for a club of Ajax's size and stature, where he will play Champions League soccer. Marc Guéhi to Liverpool transfer twist as Arne Slot, one step closer to deal. Liverpool have just days of the transfer window remaining to strike up any last-minute business, as Arne Slot continues to build his squad. Clubs wishing to do business have up until 7 p.m. on Monday, September 4th to do so. For Liverpool, a lot of the talk is over a proposed swoop for Newcastle United striker Alexander Isak. The Sweden international is continuing to push for a move to Anfield this summer, with the Reds having a $110 million bid turned down earlier in the window. However, the first two games of the season, where Liverpool have conceded 4 goals, could possibly see them turn their attention to defensive signings. One name who has been heavily linked is Crystal Palace centre-back Marc Guéhi. The Palace captain has less than a year remaining on his contract at Selhurst Park, with the Echo reporting that the Reds are happy to play a waiting game over getting the best deal for the defender. As the transfer window has gone on, links with Guéhi have continued. As ever, with the final days of the window, a late move could be possible, and a first step to that potential move may just be being made. The last few days have seen Palace linked with a few defenders. Gazzetta dello Sport report that Palace are showing an interest in Juventus' Lloyd Kelly. Fabrizio Romano has also reported that the Eagles are showing an interest in Toulouse's J.D. Canvote. The fact that Palace seem to be making moves for centre-backs could suggest they are preparing for life without Guéhi for the current season. While it didn't happen in the end, Palace were keen on bringing in a replacement for Ebereki Eze before sanctioning a move for the midfielder. However, after now getting the money for the England international, they could now be in a stronger position to bring in a replacement before letting Guéhi go before the deadline. If Oliver Glasner's side complete the signing of a centre-back over the next few days, that could give Liverpool a green light to make their move for Guéhi. It's a situation the Reds will therefore keep a close eye on over the next few hours and days. Liverpool move for the next Roberto Firmino confirmed as Brazilian wonderkid agrees transfer. Liverpool are still looking to bring in another attacker this summer, with a starlet compared to Roberto Firmino emerging as a solution. The Reds have won their opening 2 fixtures in their defense of the Premier League crown, but not without drama, as manager Arne Slot has seen his team fall 2 goals behind twice in 2 weeks before relying on substitutes to change the game. That attacking depth will seemingly be key to Liverpool's chances across 4 competitions this season, and with Alexander Isak still wanted before deadline day, Slot could integrate another superstar. Liverpool in for potential Brazilian superstar compared to Roberto Firmino. This summer, there has been a conscious effort by the Merseysiders to embrace younger talent, and not just in the opportunities afforded to 16-year-old Rio Ngumoha, Milos Kerkez, Florian Wirtz, and Hugo Ekitike are 21, 22, and 23 respectively, as Slot looks to build an all-conquering team of the future. And with one particular teenager likened to the legendary Roberto Firmino, it appears that Liverpool's commitment to youth is stronger than ever. Portuguese publication Abola have reported via Sport Witness that Liverpool were circling for a deal for Fluminense gem Isak. The report draws comparisons between the wonder kid and Firmino, given their creativity from a number 10 position, Though while Globo Esporte in Brazil have reiterated the interest from the Reds, they report that a deal has been closed for Isak to move to Shakhtar Donetsk instead. The Ukrainian Giants are to pay just over $10 million for the 18-year-old, who was subject to interest from a couple of Premier League clubs. 442 understands that Fluminense's 10% sell-on complicates any potential move to England in the future, with Shakhtar likely to drive a hard bargain should Isak blossom into an elite prospect. Shakhtar's record sale currently sits at 2023's 100mm move of Mykhailo Mudryk, including add-ons, as confirmed by the club themselves, making him one of the top 100 most expensive players of all time. Isak is valued at just $1 by Transfermarkt. Liverpool take on Arsenal on Sunday as Premier League action returns. Thank you for watching. Like and comment, subscribe.